Good morning. So we are going to review a little bit for your quiz. So here are some questions that I want you to start working through. It says use sum and difference of angles to find the exact value of cosine of 7 pi over 12. The second question says if cosine of theta is equal to square root of 10 over 8 and theta lies between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi, find sine of 2 theta. Find the exact value of 2 sine 22.5 times cosine of 22.5. And then I want to prove this one. It says 1 minus sine of 2b is equal to cosine of b minus sine of b, all of that squared. So remember, I just want to prove it. And then cosine of x plus y over cosine of x times sine of y is equal to cotangent of y minus tangent of x. And then the last one that I want us to do is 2 times sine cubed times cosine plus 2 times sine times cosine cubed is equal to sine 2x, so the double angle. So just take a little bit of time and work through those for me, and then we will work them together. Alright, so this one here, it says use the sum and difference of angles to find the exact value of cosine of 7 pi over 12. Well, 7 pi over 12 is cosine of 4 pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 12, right? 4 pi over 12 reduces, so this is going to be cosine of pi over 3 plus pi, this one reduces to pi over 4. Okay. Alright, so now when I want to expand this, I think I still have one over here. So this is the sum, so remember the sum of cosine, so it'll be cosine of the first angle times cosine of the second angle minus, so it's going to turn into a minus sign there. Minus sine of the first angle and times sine of the second angle. So I'm going to have cosine of pi over 3 times cosine of pi over 4. It's going to turn into a minus sign, and then it's going to be sine of pi over 3, sine of pi over 4. So cosine of pi over 3, so the unit circle here, so cosine of pi over 3, cosine is going to be a 1/2. Cosine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over a 2. Sine of pi over 3 is a square root of a 3 over a 2. And sine of pi over 4 is square root of 2 over a 2. So this will be square root of a 2 minus square root of a 6. And this is 2 times 2, 2 times 2, so we could go ahead and add this together. Good deal. Alright, so this one says if cosine of theta is equal to square root of 10 over 8, so remember cosine is x over r, and theta is going to be between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi, so that means theta is going to end in the fourth quadrant. So my y value is going to be negative here. So I can find the y value because I have cosine. Sine of the double angle, remember, is 2 times sine of your regular angle times cosine of your regular angle. So I need to find sine of my regular angle. So to do that, I am going to use the Pythagorean Theorem. So x squared plus y squared is equal to an r squared. So my x squared will be square root of a 10 squared plus y squared is going to be equal to an 8 squared here. So let's see, I've got 8 squared minus, let's see, 8 squared minus this will be, so y here will be a negative, and it's going to be a negative square root of 54. And this can reduce to a negative 3 square roots of 6. So sine of theta is going to be a negative 3 square roots of 6 all over a 8 here. Alright, so now I'm going to have 2 times sine of theta, which is negative 3 square roots of 6 all over an 8, and then times square root of a 10 over a 8 here. So I will have, this is a 2 over 1, so this will be a negative 6 square roots of 60. 8 times 8 is a 64. This reduces, 2 goes into both of those, right? So I'm going to have a negative 3 square roots of 60 all over a 32, and then square roots of a 60 is going to be 4, right? 60 divided by 4 is a 15, so this will be a negative 3 times 2 square roots of 15 all over a 32, right? Because it's 60 is 4 times 15. Yeah. And then 2 goes into that 32. Keep reducing a little bit. Brain is not working. So this is negative 3 square roots of 15 all over a 16. So there we go. There we go. Alright, let's look here. So for number 3 here, I want to find the exact value of 2 times sine of 22.5 times cosine of 22.5. So this is the double angle formula, 2 times sine times cosine. So this will be sine of 2 times 22.5, right? And 22.5 times 2 is 45. So this will be sine of 45 degrees. And now I can find the exact value of this. So sine of 45 degrees is square root of 2 over a 2. Okay. All right, let's look at this one. So it says prove each one minus sine 2b. So this is a double angle. So we could expand the double angle here, or we could go from the side. So let's go from the right side to the left side. So cosine of b minus sine of b, all of that squared, is going to be cosine of b minus sine of b times cosine of b minus sine of b. So the same thing twice, right? So cosine times cosine is a cosine squared. If I multiply, so this will be minus, I'm going to do sine b, cosine b. Here we'll have a minus sine b, cosine b. And then sine times sine, that turns into a positive sine squared. Well, this is cosine squared plus a sine squared. So, right, so cosine squared b plus a sine squared b, so that turns into a 1, right? Can combine these, so this turns into a minus 2 sine b cosine b. So this is cosine squared plus sine squared is a 1. And then 2 sine b cosine b, that is the double angle formula for sine. So this will be sine 2b. And that's what we were looking for. Okay. Alright, so here we've got cosine of x plus y over cosine of x sine of y. I want to change that to cotangent minus tangent. So let's go ahead and expand this. So this is going to be cosine of x cosine of y minus sine of x sine of y all over the cosine of x sine of y. And then I'm going to separate these and put them over each other. So this will be cosine of x cosine of y over cosine of x sine of y minus, same thing here, so sine of x sine of y over cosine of x sine of y. So my cosines of x are going to be left, so I'm going to be left with cosine of y over sine of y, which is cotangent of y. My sines of y's are going to go away, so I'm going to be left with sine over cosine, which is a tangent of x, and that's what I wanted. Good deal. Let's look at this one. So here I've got 2 sine cubed x cosine x plus 2 sine x cosine cubed x is equal to sine 2x. Alright, so let's start from the left side. So I see that I can factor out a 2 here. So let's factor out a 2. I can factor out 1 sine, right? And then I can factor out 1 cosine. If you factor that out, you'll be left with a sine squared. And factor it out, you'll be left with a cosine squared, right? Sine squared plus a cosine squared is the Pythagorean identity, which is just 1. And then we'll be left with 2 times sine x times cosine x, and that is your double angle formula for sine. So that will be sine of 2x. There you go. Alright, so that is a review for your quiz. So just get to studying for your quiz, and you'll be good. If you have any questions, let me know. Y'all have a good day.